Scott Plex City.
Marks.
Scott Plex City.
Marks.
Scott Plex City.
Marks.
Scott Plex City.
Marks.
Yep, here we are. We're back at it. This week, Scotty B is here for the entire episode, which is awesome.
I am back.
Thank you, because talking to yourself for a long period of time
That's rough.
is different, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So after I got done doing last week's show and everything, I got thinking to myself, like, damn, now if I did this in like chunks of 5 minutes, could have been better. Because it's more time to think, allows you to think, but when you're just, dude, I still pushed out. It's still a half an hour episode last week. We had like 10 minutes in the beginning of the bullying talk, and then we got into the show. We made our predictions, and we got through Payback, and Scotty B's back from his vacation that took him away for an entire week, folks.
Yes, I needed it.
I
needed it.
Look at him. He looks freaking recharged. He looks fresh.
I got some color.
He's got some color.
It's a little bit redder than others, but I got some sun out there, so it was great. It was great.
That is a man that is very content right now, and it feels good.
Be more content if I was still there.
Yeah,
though.
right. That's a fact, right? You get to check out Payback.
I did today. I did
Raw, SmackDown.
I
check it out all.
I watched SmackDown Live last night.
Right.
So I was home to watch that. Watched all of Payback today, and I kind of flipped through all of Raw. I didn't watch it everything. I kind of fast forwarded through matches and basically kind of checked out the talkie stuff, which was great, but especially the Dean Ambrose stuff. Him doing these interviews and then being like, "Back to you, Gorilla." That was classic.
I love how he's doing
classic
that.
stuff. It's funny stuff.
We'll just get into the Raw talk and Payback. We'll just break it down. So the kickoff match, the Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Enzo and Big Cass, they won. It was a great match. I would have liked to have seen it on the main card. I don't know why they continue to leave Enzo and Big Cass off the main card. It don't, especially when I look at it and it's like, all right, so the Cruiserweight Championship, listen, it's awesome that Austin Aries is there in the Cruiserweight division, but I don't think that should be going over Enzo and Big Cass in the club right now.
These guys are putting on some great matches, though.
But still, I don't know.
I mean, really, when you think about it, if you put any of those on the kickoff show, you'd be like, why is it there?
Well, what if it was all right, would you rather have them wrestle probably like 15, 20 minutes, I think the pre-show match was? Would you rather have them do that, or would you rather have them do like a 7-minute match on the actual card? Main card.
I mean, if they can get 15 minutes on the kickoff show, and then I'd rather have it there.
Because that's the thing. Sometimes you gotta weigh out. It's like they could get way more time if they're on the kickoff show, maybe even up to a half an hour. But if they're on the main card, sometimes they only get 7-10 minutes. So I don't know. But this one, I just feel that.
I mean, the way I personally feel about the kickoff matches anymore, it's not a bad thing. Because, I mean, that gets people possibly ordering the pay-per-view and or ordering the network. It's a good way to try to get people to watch the rest of the event. You put something that's exciting and maybe I might want to watch this. If you put two jabronis up there, and no one's going to want to watch that, really. Like you put two jobbers. Why are people going to want to watch that? If you put two guys like Enzo and Big Cass that people really, really like and are popping for, they'll watch the kickoff and they'll watch the event. That's the way I feel.
I mean, that definitely makes sense. I'm just writing down 450 because I might have a thing pop up when you just said jabroni that goes jabroni. Just like letters that pop up. That'd be funny, in my opinion. Okay. I mean, you definitely solid points, but I just would like to see it a little bit more meaningful. They are putting a lot of focus. Well, before we get into the cruiserweight division, you think they're maybe thinking about splitting Enzo and Big Cass? There's been a lot of single matches, and once again this past week, on Raw, you had which one? The club. Luke took on Enzo.
I hope they don't split them up. I mean, they're still getting the pops that they deserve. I think before you split them up, give them a run with the tag team titles, and then split them up, because it's just. I mean, I wouldn't even understand why you bring them up to the main roster, not put any belts on them, and then split them up for some stupid reason. That wouldn't make any sense to me. I mean, if you're gonna bring them up, have a successful run with the belts for a few months at least, and then you can split them up. I just don't see any reason for it right now, because they are totally over. I mean, some people seem to be a little find Enzo obnoxious and stuff, but that's his character. I personally like it, but I mean, if you listen to the crowd last night on Raw, and even they got quite a pop on the kickoff match at Payback. I just can't see them doing that. It wouldn't make any sense to me.
One thing I would like to see them do with Enzo is reel back his character a little bit. Sometimes when he's doing these, how you do, his little punchlines when he's saying stuff, sometimes it's just so like
it's a little too corny.
A little too corny. It's a little too out there. I like it. I love when you did the cheese one. I like when you talk about the musicians in that area and stuff. But sometimes you just say things, or not you, but Enzo. I'm acting like I'm talking to Enzo right now. Sometimes you just say things, Enzo, and it's like, dude, what are you even saying? And we know you're the Luke Mike Sky talker, or whatever the heck you call yourself, like. But I just would like him to reel it back a little bit. I think that would do a lot with his character, because all the other stuff he's got going on, the people love it. They love that little dance thing that he does. I guess it's like the little bobbin duck or whatever, and then he's got his little dance moves.
Or he's doing that whole Running Man kind of backwards thing going on or whatever.
And I'd like to see Big Cass be a little more human in the way he talks. Instead of talking like this, Scotty B.
I think that's part of the character, because if you ever watch him in like real interviews, I think that was one of those Unfiltered with Renee Young. He talks normal. He doesn't talk like that in a regular interview when he's just being him regular. So I think that's part of the character. You know, he's supposed to be like a big, I don't know if this is a bad word to use, but a kind of a big Guido type guy going, hey, yo, what do you say? Hey. So that's part of the character, I think. That's why he does that.
Mm.
Is that a bad word to use, Guido? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Is that politically incorrect?
Probably.
No offense.
I don't know. We'll just
no
move
offense
on
to anybody
from it.
out there. I don't mean anything
I don't
bad.
think it's... I think if you were... I don't think you're using it in a term that necessarily...
I don't mean to be derogatory towards
Italians
or anything like that. But, when you see those Goodfellas and those types of movies, those guys are, hey,
Facts.
Like that,
I believe he is Italian. Or they're from Italian area. I heard something in one of the interviews, something about Italian. But anyways, we'll move on. The club, what is going on with the club? Do you think they're going to get the push they deserve? Are they going to be teaming up with Finn Balor? Does it look like that could even happen at all? Because it looks like they're not even making any reference that Finn and the club know one another. So I don't really see what could be going on here.
That could be one of those things that just kind of comes out of nowhere. It's maybe at some point there's going to be a match and looks like maybe Balor is going to lose, and then out of nowhere, Gallows and Anderson. If there's a match right now, I don't see that happening, because it looks like there's going to be a feud between Balor and Bray Wyatt. But once we have something where maybe Balor goes against another fan favorite, that's when it might happen. If we see something like that, maybe he goes against Seth Rollins for something, or maybe Dean Ambrose, and then we might see those guys help him out, and that's the start of the new club.
And speaking of Bray Wyatt, he defeated Randy Orton in the House of Horrors match, which was pretty cool. Like we said last week, that there's probably going to be a big pre-tape part of it, which we've seen. I don't really know if I really like the way they executed it. Like I was
kind of turned off by the spooky music in the background and stuff like that, and how it was kind of made to look like a bad horror movie, or how you described it on Twitter, which got all sorts of likes and
Yeah.
retweets.
It was basically like an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Which it was. I mean, I didn't get to see it until today, and then when I finally saw it, I'm like, damn, Scott was right. It's cheesy, but it worked at the same time.
Yeah. Especially the part of the babies hanging. It reminded me of like the intro of Are You Afraid of the Dark? It was like, oh, what's
It was
next?
creepy.
A rocking chair?
It was
And
creepy.
then a creepy clown? Like, I was waiting for it. I didn't like that. Like I was saying to my brother, I really wish that when they were driving back to the arena the whole time, because they had the overhead view of the limo that he was in. Why wasn't just on the Titantron? Why wasn't there just video of the limo going? And then they just stick it down the corner of the pay-per-view. That way the whole time you're watching it and you see
that he's coming back to the
something
arena.
like that, something small like that, would have just took it over top. And then because that gap in between, it was weird. It was weird how it went from all of a sudden Bray's back in the arena and he's talking the stuff, and then Randy appears out of nowhere. It was just, I didn't really like, I'm not a big fan of that match really at all. I'm a fan of the retweets and likes we got on the tweet that we did. But you were saying that you see Bray Wyatt taking on Finn Balor. What makes you believe that?
Well, at the end of Raw. Did you not watch Raw?
I did watch Raw.
What happened at the end of it?
When he said, "This is my world" to Kurt Angle.
No, at the very end of it. Did you not?
Maybe I didn't see that.
Did you miss that? Yes.
I might have missed that.
You totally missed the last match of the night. It was the number one contender match for the Intercontinental Championship. The Miz, Seth Rollins.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes. Bray Wyatt came in and
that's right.
took out Finn Balor, leading to The Miz winning the match. So there you go.
You think that's really setting him up? Because he said, "This is my world now." Could this just be him controlling all the matches, interfering with everything?
That I doubt. I think they're gonna go with this, because I think there was another.
Could we get Bray Wyatt versus Kurt Angle?
That's what I was kind of hoping for. You know, when he started talking like, "Are you gonna follow me, or are you gonna stand in my way?" type thing. I was like, maybe this is a way to get Kurt back in the ring. That could very well happen too. We'll just have to wait and see. But I do believe it was either the week before, which I kind of missed too, because my vacation totally missed all my WWE watching. That I think Bray came on the screen while there was Balor was doing something in the ring. So I think they're definitely leading up to a feud between these two.
I like that they're giving Bray still all this creative freedom still on Raw. I was afraid that he was going to lose that, but it looks like they're continuing on with him now. Yeah, you may control, but this is my world. And he's proven it the way that he interfered on that match. We also, Seth Rollins defeated Samoa Joe. Really great match. I was hoping Triple H somehow at Payback. I really was hoping.
Yeah, I think they're going to kind of keep him. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up a little around the time of SummerSlam. Maybe they'll bring him in for the big events.
Because it's like I don't see Triple H getting that buff and that built up again, not to wrestle. What's the point of doing it?
This is true.
Well, anyway, Seth Rollins, he was in that triple threat match we were just talking about with The Miz and Finn Balor. Amazing match. The Miz, the way he is out there and he has a comeback for everything they said. Like when Seth Rollins said to him, "I will wrestle, or in this ring, I'll run circles around you," and he's like, "Well, lucky this isn't a race."
He's
you know what I mean? Just you know that wasn't like written. It was just like so good, because even like Seth had to look in his face like, "Oh, that was good." You know what I mean? The Miz was in that match performing with arguably two of the best wrestlers of this day and age.
It's true.
Maybe two of the top 50 wrestlers of all time. Maybe two of the top 20 wrestlers of all time. Maybe I'm giving a little bit.
Maybe.
But technical. Two amazing wrestlers. Miz is keeping his own. Looks great in there. He didn't look like he was being worked better than anybody else. Yeah, there was a sloppy ending, whatever. It's wrestling. We don't expect that. You judge him by how he's actually in there performing when he has his moments to shine against Finn and against Seth. And, The Miz is just, honestly, he's the most improved. I know we've said it before, but this dude is the most improved in the past month. The most improved in the past year. He just gets better and better and better every single time he's out there. It doesn't matter if he's going against AJ Styles or John Cena, or if he's going against, CM Punk of the past, or now he's being mixed in with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, and who knows where it's going to lead to with him going against some...
Probably going to go against Dean Ambrose because
yeah,
he's the
Dean
more contender,
Ambrose. Yeah? He holds his own. Arguably the better of...
Yeah, he has just gotten better and better over the years. I mean, you may not have liked what he did when he was the WWE champ, back when he beat Randy Orton and, the WrestleMania match with John Cena, but, I mean, I thought he was good then on the mic. He was kind of your very annoying heel, but he has gotten even better and better as the annoying heel, the guy that you love to hate. I always say this. He is the modern-day Roddy Piper. He just talks a lot of crap, and these days he's backing it up, too. Even though he's kind of like still the scared, back-off type heel, he's still just, like you said, he's showing such brilliance out there with guys like Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, who people always talk about. Oh, my, these guys are so great in the ring. And I definitely think The Miz does not get the credit that he totally deserves. It's going to happen probably throughout his career. People think The Miz, they keep on going back to the whole MTV, he's a reality star. Who cares? You know
who else is a reality star?
The President of the United States.
Well, yeah, that too. Is CM Punk.
Yes.
Is about to be on MTV The Challenge. You know who else used to be on MTV The Challenge? The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's hilarious.
What is The Challenge anyway? Is that like a combination of something?
Before it used to be Real World Road Rules.
Okay,
they would go up against each other. They do challenges. Whoever wins, whatever, you get the trophy at the end. Eventually, nowadays, it's morphed into, they pluck people from whatever reality shows. I don't know. There's Real World, Big Brother, Survivor, you know what I mean? They take people from the... I'm naming all the ones that have been around forever because I don't know what a new one is. They're not taking people from like Love and Hip Hop or like... what's that one show that comes on after Raw with that family?
Oh, the Chrisleys.
Yeah, they're not taking no Love and Hip Hop people or no Chrisley, whatever the hell their name is, people. They're taking like, people that are actually doing like stuff. So whatever. Punk's on that. We reported that last week, and I guess it's for charity. But it's like, why are you doing that? Do you need that? Do you need attention like that? Do you need money that bad? What are you doing, Punk?
He's not really doing anything else, so he's not wrestling.
And
he's
not
fighting in the UFC right now, even though he probably will go back for maybe another fight. But he's not really doing anything else, so he might as well keep himself in the public eye, I guess.
So basically, you shouldn't hold the reality against The Miz.
No.
I think he's got way better. If he stopped wrestling after 5 years, we could say whatever we wanted. But now, he's been here. He's here for this long run. The Hardys, they're definitely here for the long run. They defeated Cesaro and Sheamus to retain their championship. After the match at Payback, they got ambushed.
They did.
Out of nowhere. Cesaro leading the charge, too, which is like, wow, Cesaro really being the heel here? That's interesting.
There goes the Cesaro section.
That's good. And they beat the hell out of him in the ring. Looked like he lost a tooth.
That was during the match.
Yeah.
If you see, they actually showed it, I think, on Raw on Monday, and you can see the whole thing of Jeff Hardy going to the back, and he's missing the tooth. But if you, I don't know if they actually have this online anywhere, but you can see the moment that he lost the tooth. Sheamus kicked him right in the mouth, and the tooth goes flying. And a lot of times you might hear the commentator say, "Oh, I think you lost a tooth with that one." This time it really happened, and he had to take a trip to the dentist.
He's the Isaiah Thomas of the WWE.
Yeah. Was it him that got the tooth knocked out?
Yeah, in the NBA.
Was it Isaiah Thomas? I thought it was somebody else. I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the pictures of some guy.
It was brutal. Yeah, so it's cool to see this real heel turn for Sheamus and Cesaro. Because
I mean,
for a
Sheamus
second,
really
they
always
were like,
kind of was.
yeah, but they're like a floater. They had a balance. It was like one bad guy, one good guy.
Yep.
So it was like, what are they? We don't really know. Now we know that they're heels, and it looks like they're going to get a push. It looks like they're going to be champions again in the very near future. I can see. All right, so I believe they're going to reintroduce. I was talking to my brother. Shout out Brad. So this is kind of like our talks here. You know, not all my thoughts or everything, but before Broken Matt came to the TNA, they had a feud. They were tag team champions. They like lost the title or something like that, or maybe Jeff got hurt or something like that. I can't remember what led up to it, but something happened. Then they had their big feud. And then after the big feud happened and they were both injured, that's when Matt reappeared into TNA, and now he was broken all of a sudden. And, you know, that led into his feud with his brother, and then his brother becoming Brother Nero, and so on. I think we're going to see something very, very similar happen here in the WWE when they lose the tag team championship. I think that's going to cause kind of a split. That's going to cause a feud between Matt and Jeff, and that's how we're going to get introduced to Broken Matt. And then Jeff, because Jeff is already over.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff can just go be himself, and he's going to be over. But being Broken Matt, then he's not going to be over being just Matt Hardy, unfortunately. But Broken Matt and Jeff Hardy can be over, and I think that's what we're going to lead to. I think that's the picture. And
I mean, you can see that
they're get the
they're
championship.
kind of sprinkling it in there.
Yeah,
because like when he comes out, he does the whole, you know, version 1 Matt Hardy, and then right after that, delete. And after the little promo that Cesaro and Sheamus had on Raw on Monday, Hardy's come out and they're like, okay, here's what we're gonna do, and then puts the microphone down. Delete, and boom. So they're kind of sprinkling it in. He's not totally broken, but he's putting those mannerisms in there. Yeah. He's putting those weird big words that no wrestler usually uses. He's sprinkling it in there. It's gonna happen. He'll go full-fledged broken at some point. Also, one of the past Raws or whatever, everybody's like, yes, 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 and he's like, no, delete. And then everybody started doing delete. So it's coming, and I think it's going to be very, very similar to how that broke. Austin Aries defeated Neville via disqualification, which is unfortunate. Neville talked about, you know, a king trying to reclaim his throne and how vicious he could be. Well, I never thought about a king almost losing his throne, what he would do to retain his throne. And that's what we've seen in Neville by him grabbing the ref and basically throwing him across the ring. And that was a really great match. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see where this goes. This is the one thing in the cruiserweight division that I'm excited about. TJ Perkins, TJP now, lame. You need to change his intro. You need to change his whole gimmick. Yeah, if you're going to have him heel, the whole video game
is
intro
not working.
thing.
Him coming out and dabbing and all that and moonwalking isn't going to.
That's not heelish.
Listen, when people moonwalk, we like it. You know? If he went out there and was just like dabbing and he was like being all cocky about it and everything, we could hate that. But the way he's moving, like putting it all in, and
it's just kind of cheese. It's just I don't know. I think he's a great wrestler. You know, he does some pretty cool moves, but it's just that stuff. It's like, okay, if you're gonna be a heel, get away from that and change up your personality somehow.
We also had Alexa Bliss defeated Bayley to become the Raw champion, women's champion. She is the first ever SmackDown and women's champion of. I don't know if there was one before, but
this first time ever. First one to have the Raw and the SmackDown.
She definitely deserves it. I'm a big fan of Alexa Bliss and Bayley. I really like where this division goes. I think they're all equals. I was saying last week, I think when Charlotte was on Raw, she kind of overshadowed all the women, but. So her being gone now kind of allows all the other women to shine, but Charlotte being over on SmackDown actually elevates the women. So I think it was a good decision all in all. Alexa Bliss, I like to see where this will go with her. Chris Jericho defeated Kevin Owens at Payback.
No one expected that.
No one at all.
But
then on SmackDown this week, he lost to Kevin. Kevin is the United States champion again, but now there's this injury angle that's being played.
Because he's going on tour with Fozzy.
And you tweeted about that.
I tweeted about that, yeah.
At Scott Plex City. So basically that's Raw and Payback combined right there for the most part. Dean Ambrose, he organized that number one contender. Also, we failed to mention when we were talking about that triple threat match, it is for the Intercontinental Championship, because without the Universal title there during the promo they cut in the beginning of the night, they're
saying this is the most important title on SmackDown.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm on Raw right now, yeah.
We should start a petition to get Brock Lesnar to relinquish his title. If he's not going to fight.
But the funny thing was, they kind of actually talked about that in a way, too. Brock's the champ now. He does what he wants. He'll defend the title when he wants to. So it's almost like it's Brock's rules. He's the only guy who has those rules if he's a champion. That's the way it seems to be, and they kind of mention that,
We got
when he wants to.
This interview with Titus ONeil coming up after we talk about SmackDown here. I interviewed him last week. I was hoping to get him on the show last week, but unfortunately it got pushed back a couple days. But we talk about a little thing that he had going on, one of his charity organizations. We talk about, his friendship with Wale and Flo Rida and a bunch of good stuff. So that's coming up right after that. Right after we get into SmackDown here. We got the United States Championship we just talked about, which is, I think it's fitting in great. I love the way that it got thrown in and what they're doing and how they already did the twist and turn. I like how Jericho and Owens kind of fouled one another, because also it allows, when Jericho gets done torn, he comes back to the SmackDown brand.
Yep.
He don't come back down to Raw. So it allows this feud. They kept a feud still in picture when they made the move, which is good because we didn't see that. I didn't think that was going to happen at all. Ty Dillinger, I'm glad to see him up on the main roster. I love to see him.
And he's over, man.
Yeah.
He is so over, which I was kind of surprised by, because a lot of times you might have someone who's really over in NXT, the crowd goes nuts for him, then they hit the main roster, it's kind of like, okay, a lot of people maybe not know who he is, but every single time getting the 10 chance and all that. So I'm happy to see that Stan, I just kicked Stan, finally has made the main roster. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check it out on YouTube. It was from a pay-per-view, 10, 15 years ago now. Shawn Michaels kicked Stan, and that Stan happened to be Ty Dillinger. Yes,
talk about a story being built over many, 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 many years. Jinder Mahal.
I'm kind of actually happy to see. He's a great heel.
There's a rumor that they're going to be making him champion.
It wouldn't bother me, to push these younger guys and these new guys. So many times you see on the internet people like, oh, it's the same people over and over again, or I'm getting sick of this. Yeah, then you bring somebody different in. Oh, this guy? What the heck? Wait a minute. You can't have it. You can't have it both ways. It's like either you're going to have one thing one way, or you're going to bring new guys in. Make up your mind. What do you want? I like the fact that they're bringing in a guy like Jinder. Giving this guy a chance.
I want him to move. I want him to get a good big push. I think there's a lot there with him. He's a beast.
He is a beast. Some people are saying steroids, but
I don't care.
I don't care either. I mean, listen, he came back after a while. I mean, I think after lots of time in the gym and stuff like that and changing your diet or whatever, you're going to get that jacked up. And it's not like he left for a year or 6 months and then came back like that. He was gone for quite a few years, I believe.
The same way I want my baseball players is how I want my wrestlers, on steroids.
Are you serious? Come on now.
Yeah, I do want some of my baseball players on steroids. Dude, there was nothing better when you see a million home runs every single night.
But it shrinks things, and you don't want that.
Oh, I don't care. No, if you're getting paid millions of dollars, like they could do what they want to do. I do feel that if you want to take steroids, you should be allowed to. And if you're like, oh, if that person's taking steroids and you don't want to take them, then you don't have to. But you should be able to, allowed to, if you want. Whatever. But I do like athletes too, but on steroids. All right.
He couldn't give a straight face in.
So I like this little group that they got going on with the women here. Carmella. It is Carmella, Natalia,
and Tamina, and James Ellsworth.
And James Ellsworth.
The welcoming committee or something like that.
I love it. I like how they're doing something different with the women's division over here.
Too.
I do not like how they had Carmella and Natalia defeat Naomi and Charlotte. That's kind of... But I get it, though. I get what they're doing here. I really like it, though. Do you think this is the best thing to do for this division, to get these women over? Because these women were not flourishing the way that the Raw women were.
I agree. I mean, I do like the fact they're giving Natalia more opportunity, because she was dwindling there for the longest time, and I think she's great as a heel. Carmella is doing some great stuff. I love the stuff she's doing with Ellsworth. So that's, to me, that's great. And to give Tamina an opportunity again, if you're going to put them all together like that, it's a great way for all of them to get camera time and show off what they can do. I dig it. Something different with the ladies. I mean, they kind of seem to be doing the same sort of thing over and over again on Raw. It just seems like they just switched Charlotte with Alexa Bliss. Now she's the badass heel.
Yeah, they switched the blonde for the blonde.
Yeah, I just hope they don't do like the same sort of thing they were doing, like flipping the title back and forth they were doing with Sasha and Charlotte. I hope they don't do that over and over again with Bayley and Alexa. It's just going to be the same thing over and over again.
I'm still waiting for that Sasha heel turn, though.
It's got to be coming.
Like, she's got to turn on Bayley soon. Next couple weeks, maybe next pay-per-view. And then I guess Dolph Ziggler defeated Sin Cara. Nah, boring. Dolph Ziggler, though, I like where they're heading with him, but Sin Cara I'm bored with.
He's going to have a match with Shinsuke. That's going to be some good stuff right there, especially the way that Dolph can sell anything. Yeah, he's a great salesman. And
did they say the artist formerly known as Nakamura when they introduced him?
No, I think they just called him the artist. He's not the... They changed him from being the king of strong style to being the artist.
He's more Michael than Prince, right?
Something like, yeah, exactly.
If you were to look at him, would you say he's more Prince or more Michael Jackson?
Oh, he's definitely more Michael Jackson. He's got the moves and stuff like that. It's
so the whole artist thing's like...
it's not anything to do with the Prince type, the symbol thing. I think they're just calling it like he's an artist in the ring, I
wonder if all the Prince and Michael Jackson diehards know about this right now.
I don't know.
It might blow their minds. So I was like, wait, are they saying artist when he's clearly more Michael?
I don't think it has anything to do with the Prince type things. It's just, like I said, he's an artist in the ring, what he does, and all that kind of stuff. But definitely the outfits and the moves and stuff like that. I think he's even said it in interviews that he got a lot of his inspiration from Michael Jackson. So, makes sense.
Well, I guess now when he's no longer the artist Shinsuke Nakamura, he'll be the artist formerly known.
Could be.
He's the formerly known artist Shinsuke Nakamura. Whatever. All right, so that's SmackDown. That's Payback.
And that's Raw.
That's Raw. We're about to get into this Titus ONeil interview in a second here. Couple rumors. Brock Lesnar is expected to be around more during his Universal Championship. Yeah, okay, we'll see. That's definitely a rumor. He's expected.
I think the next pay-per-view they have, which I believe is called Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, I guess so.
Where did they come up with that name? Someone was listening to a lot of Jerry Lee Lewis, apparently.
Great Balls of Fire.
Goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire. Unless they're planning on some sort of Inferno match or something like that, I don't know the reason why they would call the pay-per-view Great Balls of Fire, but we'll have to see if we have.
Maybe they'll
like
have
that.
a big wrecking ball come swinging in on fire with Miley Cyrus riding it, and they'll hit Brock Lesnar and take him out.
There we go.
So it is expected Lesnar will have a title defense against Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns in his run. Jericho is written off television, but he's expected back later this year, which we definitely know.
Maybe
because,
SummerSlam, because I mean, a few
his
months for a
tour's
tour.
only like 2 months long.
Yeah, so I could expect maybe SummerSlam, if not that Survivor Series.
Looks like there's no immediate plans for Luke Harper or Eric Rowan. TJ Perkins, TJP, we already talked about that.
Yeah, I guess
the
they're
heel
officially
turn
calling
with
him
him.
TJP. Yep.
Anything else you got to add in here?
Oh, the whole thing that you posted the other day about X-Pac, he got arrested for apparently having meth and weed. I read after that he has his own podcast where he said it wasn't meth. I hope it's not, because I mean, after what happened to China and they were so close and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I can understand him being on the weed. You see him sometimes. Yeah. Talking, it's like, okay, yeah, you're probably smoking a little, and if you want to do that, that's fine. There's more power to you. I don't care, but stay off the meth, man. Stay off that crap, please.
Yeah. Just to go back to Jericho, his tour starts May 5th. It ends June 13th, and
he could be back in time.
SummerSlam 2017.
That's gonna be in August, so
is on August 20th. So there's time for him to come back, get the program going, and get there. So
and definitely check out his new song with Fozzy, Judas. Awesome song. It's also going to be the theme for the next NXT Takeover. So, it's good stuff.
Yeah, my boy Jericho. Say goodbye,
I
man.
dig Fozzy. They got a good sound. I like them. If you ever see them live, do it too.
Have you seen Fozzy?
I've seen Fozzy. Yeah, they played Bogies
really
quite a few years ago. Unfortunately, it was right around the time of one of the hurricanes. So a lot of people who actually bought tickets didn't show up. So there's nobody in the place. So I got front row seats, awesome shots of Jericho. Put it on Twitter, and he retweeted me. So it was pretty badass too. So awesome band.
You were able to take it in, man.
I was able to take it in, man.
I was front row, man. I was right there.
I got the gift of Jericho, man.
How they get at you on them Twitters and socials?
You can find me on Twitter at ScottyB1976. ScottyB1976. I always forget this because I never remember my own damn Twitter handle. It's ScottyB1976. You can find me at ScottyBizzle76 on Instagram, and find me on Facebook at Scotty Blaine.
At Scott Radio is how you get at me. You could get at the show, Scott Plex City. Tell your friends about the show. We definitely appreciate you tuning in each and every single week. Audio Wednesdays, video Thursdays, and now it's time for this Titus ONeil interview, so enjoy it, man. WWE superstar Titus ONeil. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm definitely doing great. So today is Pay It Forward Day, Stand for Kindness. So you want to tell us about this?
Yes. I got with some people that were involved in the campaign last year, and we've gotten 81 different countries all trying to, on this particular day, April 28th, to encourage people to go out and do random acts of kindness. We want to try to get 10 million people to share a heart on their hand, on their social media pages, and just really try to set an example just by doing something simple, how we can change people's lives in our daily lives in our respective communities. So it's a great opportunity for people to really embrace humanity and treating people with dignity, and whether it's somebody you know or somebody you don't know, picking up a meal or things like that can go a long way. We just want to start a ripple effect for people to go out and do great things, do the things that politics and religion won't do.
Right, and I know that you've been busy today, but have you had any time to go through the hashtags and see some of the pictures of random acts of kindness that the people have been posting?
Yeah, I have. So I just looked at one where someone, their tuition, they paid their tuition for a child's daycare. Their best friend, their mom just got diagnosed with breast cancer. And so they've been kind of falling on some hard times, and one of the kids' friends, mom and dad, paid for them to basically have daycare for the next 3 months. So stuff like that. I went out today and I paid for a few people's meals and explained to them why I was doing it, and they in return paid for other people's meals. So by the time at the end of restaurant, everybody was paying for everybody's meal. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome right there. And we always see you doing charity work. Is there a reason why you're so passionate about doing things for charity?
Well, my mother was raped at 11 years old, and she made the unselfish decision to have me at 12. And with that, we had a lot of struggles. And, I've been, bouncing from home to home. And then I ended up going to a place called the Florida Sheriff's Boys Ranch. And I was labeled a bad kid before and told that I'd be dead or in jail before I was 16. And I went to this place, and people loved me, cared for me, invested in me when they had nothing to gain in return. And so I'm forever grateful for the sacrifices that all these people made and the contributions that they made to the Boys Ranch and to kids and to help youth, just like myself and others. And so I feel like that's where that passion is derived from. It's like I know what someone giving me a gift at Christmas time when my mom couldn't afford it meant to me. I know what going to see someone in the hospital that may not be a relative of mine and trying to put a smile on their face. I've been there and done that numerous times. So it's in me. It is who I am. I don't run from it at all. It was the time that I probably thought that maybe people will start. Because when you do so much good stuff, people say, "Oh, well, maybe he's doing it for this or that reason." I do it because people did it for me when they had nothing to gain in return. So I'm proud to do it, and I'm proud to encourage others to do it.
That's awesome that you're willing to be a role model like that. Now, we are talking with Titus ONeil, the WWE. So how did you go about transitioning from football, which you did in college, and then after college you did some arena football and all that, into wrestling?
Yeah, so I have a really good friend that was in it at the time named Dave Bautista. He's a movie star now. He's getting ready to debut in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 May 5th. And he encouraged me to at least give it a try. And I was driving to South Tampa one day and went to the developmental facility. And 2 weeks later, after going there, I was signed and learning how to become a WWE superstar. So it's something I definitely didn't expect doing and wouldn't expect to be doing. But it's definitely been a blessing to be able to do.
And it definitely seems like you get a lot of support from your fellow wrestlers within the locker room, because I was just scrolling through Instagram and I seen Sasha Banks post a picture with the hashtags PayItForward and Stand for Kindness. Now, that's awesome. I think it's awesome that they're willing to support you like that. Do you feel that encouragement all the time from them?
Yes. We tell people all the time, we're together so much. We literally are like family, and we are family. And the support that I've received from the WWE superstars, women and men, in this campaign and other things has been nothing short of phenomenal. A lot of times in sports and entertainment, people get a bad rap, but I would put our locker room against anyone, any other sport, and any other organization in regards to changing lives and putting smiles on people's faces. They take pride in it. They enjoy doing it. And I'm very, very proud and happy that they've joined me in this Pay It Forward Day.
Because this is more of your thing than the WWE.
Correct. Yeah, this is not a company initiative. But that's what makes it even greater. That we all do stuff on our own. Sasha does charity stuff. Everybody does charity stuff on their own. And we support one another with that. But to have everybody support this without it being, a WWE initiative per se, again, that stands to the character of the men and women that we have in the locker room. That regardless of whether it's a company-supported thing or a talent-supported thing, if it helps change lives and make positive change in this country and in this world, then we're all for it.
Now, you're also getting ready to do a TED Talk, correct?
Yes, I am. I do a TED Talk in May at UCLA, May 20th, on the campus of UCLA. I'm very excited about it. It's actually one of the most nerve-wracking things I've ever done because I'm accustomed to speaking in front of people. But it's a very distinct way that we have to do this and deliver a powerful message, and that's what I expect to do.
So what do you think your TED Talk speech is going to be about? What are you going to, focus on?
Well, it'll entail parts of my life and aspects of my life, but it'll be It'll try to do one of the three things that TED Talks are designed to do, which is inspire, educate, and entertain. And so I'm going to do all three within mind by sharing part of my story, sharing why I do what I do, and hopefully encouraging others to stay in the domino effect of advocacy and change.
Well, we'll be looking for that TED Talk on May 20th. We are talking with Titus ONeil of the WWE right now. And now, Wale, we know he's a huge fan of the WWE. Have you had a chance to link up with him and form some type of friendship with him at all?
Yeah, Wale's actually become a good friend of mine. Him and my son, my oldest son, TJ, they probably communicate, every month or every 2 weeks or so. He's an awesome guy, huge WWE fan, and we're definitely very fortunate to have a talent like him, loving our product, but also supporting us as individuals too.
And personally, I feel like you and Wale are kind of like the same person. You're both extremely positive. You're all about giving back and all that. So I think it's awesome that you guys were able to link up like that. That's really cool to hear.
Yeah, me, him, and Flo Rida are probably the closest. Like I'm close to Flo Rida.
Really?
I've known him for years as well. And you talk about another solid guy. I can't speak enough great words about either one of those guys. There's never been a time where I've asked them something or to do something for somebody, and they told me no. And so I'll always be supportive in whatever ventures or avenues that they choose to take because they're phenomenal people.
He gets the Titus brand endorsement.
Yeah, he definitely does. They are definitely both under the Titus brand.
Now, also, tomorrow is your birthday?
Tomorrow's my 40th birthday.
Well, happy early birthday to you, and what are you going to do to celebrate it?
I'm not a big birthday party person. I actually throw more birthday parties for people than I do actually participate in my own. But I'm just going to have about 45 to 50 people to my house and have dinner and sit down and enjoy some close friends and family.
Awesome. Well, Titus ONeil, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. You can check out his TED Talk on May 20th. Right now is Pay It Forward Day. Use the hashtag Stand for Kindness. Do some random act of kindness today. Let's put some love out into this world. And you could also check out the Titus ONeil, the Titus brand Monday nights on Monday Night Raw. Titus ONeil, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Scott Plex City.
Marks.
Scott Plex City.
Marks.
Scott Plex City.
Marks.
Scott Plex City.
Marks.